Jackie Lee Price for Shadowboxruk UK with Jamie Moore. Oh my gosh, nice to see you and congratulations this evening.
Thank you very much, over the moon.
British champion, Mark Leach, what a performance. Happy with that, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Some performance. We always knew he was capable of that type of performance. He's the second person from Salford to win a Lonsdale belt behind myself, so just a monumental day for him, for his family. It's life-changing for him. You know, he's been literally making ends meet for the last 3 or 4 years on the small law show. Steve Wood's really looked after him, and he finally got his opportunity, and he smashed it.
He absolutely did. I was talking to him the other day, and I feel like the Kes Ashfaq fight was the one that sort of put eyes on him. How brilliant is it, though, like you say, that he's actually now finally going to get these big fights, because he has been out a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he'd like to think so. We thought that after he beat Kes, and that never happened, it never materialised. He's done 2 British title eliminators, and he just seemed to keep dragging on and dragging on. He'd never get his opportunity, but he's got it now, and he's took it with both hands. And then, like you say, hopefully now we can get some big fights for him.
He was saying that he's now a full-time athlete. Have you seen the difference in him? You know, he was saying that he was getting headaches and stuff like that. Have you seen a difference in his performance in the gym?
Yeah, you can see the difference in him. He's in the gym all the time now. He's obviously struggling in the past because he was working nights and stuff, and it was difficult for him to get back in the gym the next day. And you can imagine how tough the training is for him to try and sort of recover from that when he's not been sleeping properly. So yeah, he's been helped out with a few different sponsors now, and he's been in the gym. He's had a full training camp for the first time, and you know, it was a good job, because even though Chris was well behind on the scorecards, or you'd like to think, you know, what were them scorecards again? That's a different subject. But you know, if down the stretch, Chris was really trying to push him to force the fight down him, and Mark just kept going and going. So it's a good job.
You know what? He's actually got a massively brilliant engine, and thank God. But let's talk about the fight before we get to the scoring. Chris Bourke is no slouch, is he? He's a good boxer. No disrespect, but tonight he was totally outboxed, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, but you know, I've just been to see him actually in the change rooms, and I said, please, I was talking to his dad, and I said, please don't let that discourage you, because Mark Leach is probably beyond British level. You know, he's so talented. Someone like Carl Frampton speaks so highly of him. You know, you've got a talented kid in your hands. So I said, you know, you've only had 10 fights. Don't let this dishearten you. Stick at it, because this experience will only make you a better fighter in the future. And he's shown some toughness there. He was, you know, in the end, you know, I felt like I was hoping there was a moment where they could stop it, because I didn't want him to keep taking the punishment he was. But let's talk about the scorecards. The scorecards was ridiculously wide. You know, I had marked 10 rounds. You know, so this can't keep going on. You know, I'm complaining now, and we've won, but we have to highlight it, because if it doesn't get highlighted, it just keeps going on and on till there's the next robbery, and it's just not good enough.
I absolutely agree. The thing is, I spoke to Mark about this, about how does it feel also as a fighter that you're going into a fight thinking, well, hold on a minute, I'm almost having to judge myself. Do you know what I mean, inside a fight?
Yeah, and look, you know, that's our job as well as coaches, to let him know how we feel like the fight's going. And then I was saying tonight, about 4 or 5 rounds in, I was saying, listen, I think we're well clear here. But I'm second guessing myself now because of what happened a couple of weeks ago. And you shouldn't have to do that. If we know how the scoring should be being done, then you should know where you're at. And I feel like I knew where we was at. And then as soon as he started reading the cards, I was like, God, don't tell me this is happening again. So anyway, thankfully it didn't.
Do you think you've upset a few people by being outspoken? Quite rightly so, but do you think now you've upset a few people?
Well, I hope so, because whoever it is who needs upsetting should be upset, because this can't keep going on. If it keeps going on, the sport's going to be ruined in 5 or 10 years. If it keeps going on, it's just the amount of messages I've had on social media from going back to Jack's fight of people saying, I'm never watching boxing again. You know, it makes me feel like, what's the point? Because you watch a fight, you know who's won the fight, and then the right winner doesn't get announced. So what's the point? Honestly, hundreds of messages like that. So if it keeps going on, people are going to keep turning away, and we can't afford that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, the boys are going to get boys and girls, I should say, are going to get discouraged, aren't they?
Of course they are, exactly. And you know, we can't go back and change decisions like Jack's, but we can do something about it, and we can keep pushing this. And people keep, I've had some people on social media going, oh, come on, stop banging the drum now, it's getting boring. It was 2 weeks ago. If we don't stop talking about it, it'll still keep happening.
Do you know what? It's fair enough for them to say it's boring, but like, you're giving your time, they're giving their time. Do you know what I mean? So something does have to be done.
It might be boring to them, but it's not affected their lives. It's affected Jack Catterall's life forever now. And, hopefully he'll get the opportunity and he can right them wrongs. But, it's happened so many times over the years, and that was on such a scale, and we've just seen cards give in there, which at least the right man won, but it needs to be addressed. If it doesn't get addressed, nothing's going to happen, and it just keeps going on again and again.
Absolutely. So listen, do you feel a little bit, firstly, how is Jack?
Yeah, Jack's all right. He's doing all right now. He's dusted himself down, and he's got a bit between his teeth now, and he's just saying, get me back in there as soon as possible. I want to fight for the world title.
Do you know what? Even tonight, watching the two boys, because Chris is a lovely kid, Mark's a lovely kid, and they're the kind of people you think, oh, you just want them to do well because they're nice lads. Same with Jack. What is next really for Mark?
Well, we've just got to wait and see now. I'm assuming that at some point he'll get a mandatory for the British, but, he's at the stage of his career now. He can't really afford to hang around because he's been waiting for a long time. In an ideal world, he'd make the 3 defences, get the Lonsdale belt outright and move on. But if a big fight came up for him, then I'm sure he'd be open to the idea because, he's some talent and, he's capable of winning a world title if he gets the opportunity.
So do you think that fight will go down as one of the best British dust-ups ever?
This one? I mean, yeah, listen, it was an exciting fight. And Chris showed some courage. Not at one point did you look at him and think he's going to start to he's had enough here. He kept pushing and pushing. So that forced the best out of Mark, because most people, once they start to try and force it with Mark and they start walking into the shots, it makes him hesitant. Chris didn't do that. He was tough as old boots, and he made such a terrific fight, and it was a bloodbath in the end.
It was absolutely beautiful. Congratulations to the team.
Thank you very much.